How does a massive jet slam down from 30,000 feet above and put all that weight on just 4 tiny tires without exploding? A passenger jet can hit the runway at around 250 kilometers per hour. It weighs more than most buildings people have seen up close. You hear a thump, see a puff of smoke, and somehow the tires do not explode. That feels wrong, right? Heavy plus fast should mean disaster, but 99% of the time, it's completely safe. In fact, more people die driving to the airport than flying out of it. So let's see exactly why those tires survive such a gigantic impact and why those bag limits actually matter, even when one extra suitcase feels tiny. Let's start with the most common mental picture people have. They imagine landing as one giant punch into the ground, like dropping a truck from a short height and just hoping the rubber survives. But landing is not one punch. It's managed energy over a short sequence, a pressure vault. Picture a small steel vault with a valve and a gauge. When the pressure is controlled, it does heavy work safely. When the pressure drifts, it becomes dangerous fast. An aircraft tire works exactly the same way. It's a high-pressure vessel in rubber form, built to absorb hundreds of tons of force and heat and release it safely. And what happens when that mechanism fails? In 1991, Nigeria Airways Flight 2120 took off with one of its tires carrying dangerously low pressure. As the aircraft accelerated, the weakened vault overheated under massive stress, triggering a fire inside the landing gear bay. Minutes later, the aircraft was lost in a catastrophic crash. So if pressure and structure are the real secret, what exactly is inside that tire? An aeroplane tire is a layered machine. The outer tread takes all the wear, cuts, and brutal runway punishment. Under that, reinforced plies hold the shape and carry the massive tension loads. Bead bundles lock the tire tightly to the wheel rim under extreme pressure. And inside, a special liner seals the air so the pressure stays exactly where it needs to be. That's exactly why calling it a big-ass car tire is seriously misleading. These tires have completely different jobs, different stress levels, and very different design targets. Before the full weight even slams into the tire, the landing gear strut has already done most of the work. It compresses, cushions, and smooths out that huge spike. So the tire doesn't get a raw hit, it gets a nicely managed load. Remember our pressure vault? If the valve and chamber do their job, the force stays perfectly controlled. If that control is ever lost, the risk shoots up fast. Now, what about that smoke you see at touchdown? Is it a warning sign of too much heat? Well, not exactly. That smoke you see? It's almost always just spin-up friction. Before touchdown, the wheels aren't spinning at all. They're completely still. The instant they kiss the runway, they rocket up to 250 kilometers per hour in less than a second. That quick rub against the concrete creates the dramatic puff of smoke. It looks scary, but it does not mean the tire is bursting. And that's exactly what the tire's industrial-grade rubber is built for. A huge part of why it can take that punishment comes down to how the weight is distributed. In fact, people often ask, do all the tires carry equal weight all the time? The answer is no. Load sharing changes moment to moment. Touchdown angle, runway surface, braking, turning, and even the gear geometry. Everything shifts who carries more and who carries less. So yes, at times, a few tires can shoulder a bigger share. But that's very different from saying only a few tires do all the work forever. So if the system is this strong, why do airlines still care so much about weight? Because strong is not the same as infinite. More mass means more landing energy. More energy means more brake heat, a lot more tire stress, and tighter safety margins. And that's the part most people don't take seriously. One extra suitcase or a couple of kilograms per passenger sounds tiny, but when you multiply it across an entire fleet, day after day, those small additions actually move real safety margins. Enter pressure vault again. When pressure and load stay inside the green zone, everything performs beautifully. Push it outside that zone often enough, and the odds of failure start to climb. So baggage rules aren't mainly about punishing travelers. They're part of keeping the total aircraft load and balance inside the certified safe zone. Now the hard truth. Do aircraft tires ever fail? Yes, they do. Even if it's rare, rare does not mean impossible. Take the 2000 Air France Concorde crash in Paris. A tire blew out after hitting a small piece of metal debris on the runway. The fragments shot up, ripped open the fuel tank, and the plane caught fire. One of the only fatal Concorde accidents in history. We've also seen cases like the LATAM Boeing 767 in Atlanta, where all 8 main tires blew out during a hard landing. Excessive brake heat and overload pushed the tires past their limit in seconds. Notice the pattern. Most of these aren't random bad luck events. They're margin events, the system being pushed too close to the edge. That's exactly why airline maintenance is relentless. Pressure checks every single time, detailed condition inspections, strict replacement and retread cycles, continuous brake and wheel monitoring, and zero-tolerance procedure compliance. The tire only survives because the whole system is managed like a chain. Break one link and the risk rises. Break several and the risk spikes. So the next time you see that dramatic puff of smoke on touchdown, remember, the rubber isn't surviving by pure chance. It's a brilliantly engineered, layered machine doing exactly what it was designed to do.